Alas, my father, I said, that is not what discourages me. Human beings would indeed be degraded if a wretch like me felt pride. Justine, poor unhappy Justine, was as innocent as I, and she suffered the same charge. She died for it, and I am the cause of this. I murdered her. William, Justine, and Henry, they all died by my hands. My father had often, during my imprisonment, heard me make the same statement. When I thus accused myself, he sometimes seemed to desire an explanation, and sometimes seemed to consider my words as the result of delirium. I never spoke to him of the wretch I had created. I was sure that I would be taken for a madman if I did. And this in itself was reason enough to remain silent. But I had another reason too. I could not bring myself to reveal a secret which would fill him with worry and fear. Therefore, although I longed to share the fatal secret, I checked my desire to do so. Yet from time to time, words like those I've mentioned would burst uncontrollably from me. I could offer no explanation from them, but the truthfulness of these confessions relieved some of my misery. I couldn't finish off the first page. Welcome. I'm being paranoid. I set up everything perfectly. I wanted that fade to last longer, but that's all right. Welcome. This is the start of the stream. We are going to finish Frankenstein. At least I believe so. We must read to page 289. It's right there, 289. And I don't think there are that many pages left in the book. I think it's close. I think it's very, very close, but it's all right because I have our very next book already set up and ready to go. But anyway, let us get back into the misery of this poor chap. A few days before we left Paris for Switzerland, I received the following letter from Elizabeth. My dear friend, it gave me the greatest pleasure to receive a letter from my uncle, sent from Paris. You are no longer at a great distance. Oh, I may hope to see you in less than a fortnight. Oh, how much you have suffered! But I hope to see peace in your countenance, and to find that your heart is not entirely a stranger to comfort and tranquillity. Yet I fear that the same feelings now exist that made you so miserable a year ago. Perhaps they may even be increased by time. I would not disturb you at this time, when so many misfortunes weigh upon you. However, a conversation that I had with my uncle just before he left makes some explanation necessary before we meet. Explanation, you may possibly say. What can Elizabeth have to explain? If you really say this, my questions are answered and all my doubts are satisfied. But you are distant from me, and I am not sure what you are thinking. I must tell you in this letter what, during your absence, I have often wished to tell you, but have never had the courage to begin. You know, Victor, that our marriage has been the favorite plan of your parents ever since we were children. We were told this when young, and taught to look forward to it as an event that would certainly take place. We were playmates during childhood, and, I believe, dear and valued friends to one another as we grew older. But as brother and sister often feel a lively affection for each other without desiring a closer union, may not such also be the case with us? Tell me, dearest Victor, tell me honestly, for the sake of our future happiness, do you not love someone else? You have traveled, you have spent several years of your life at Ingolstadt, and I confess to you, my friend, that when I saw you last autumn so unhappy, seeking only to be left alone, I could not help supposing that you might no longer enjoy my company. I thought that you might believe yourself bound in honor to fulfill the wishes of your parents, even if those wishes went against your own desires. I confess to you, my friend, that I love you, and and that in my airy dreams about the future you have been my constant friend and companion. But as I desire your happiness as well as my own, that is why I feel I must tell you that our marriage would make me eternally miserable if it were unwelcome to you. I wish that it may occur only if this is what you wish. Even now I weep to think that, worn down as you are by cruel misfortunes, you might feel the need to give up, for the word honor, all hope of that love and happiness which would alone return you to yourself. I, who have such an affection for you, might increase your miseries tenfold by being an obstacle to your wishes. Ah, Victor, be assured that I have too sincere a love for you to not be made miserable by this supposition. Be happy, my friend, and if you obey me in this one request, know that nothing on earth will have the power to interrupt my peacefulness. Do not let this letter disturb you. Do not answer tomorrow, or the next day, or even until you come, if it will give you pain. My uncle will send me news of your health, and if I see but one smile on your lips when we meet, I shall need no other happiness. Elizabeth Lavenza, Geneva, May 18th, 17 something or other. This letter revived in my memory what I had briefly forgotten. The threat of the fiend. I will be with you on your wedding night. That was his promise. On that night he would employ every art to destroy me and tear me from happiness. Well, let him do his worst. If he attacked me, a deadly struggle would take place. If he were victorious in that struggle, I would be at peace, and his power over me would be at an end. If he were vanquished, I would be a free man. But alas, what sort of freedom would I enjoy? The freedom a peasant enjoys when his family members have been massacred before his eyes, his cottage burnt, his lands laid waste, and he is turned out homeless, penniless, and alone, but free. Such would be my liberty, except that in my Elizabeth I possessed a treasure, alas, balanced by those horrors of remorse and guilt which would pursue me until death. Sweet and beloved Elizabeth, I read and reread her letter, and some softened feelings stole into my heart and stirred up dreams of love and joy. But the apple was already eaten, and the angel's arm raised to drive me from all hope. Yet I would die to make her happy. If the monster made good on his threat, death was unavoidable. Yet again, I considered whether my marriage would hasten my fate. My destruction might indeed arrive a few months sooner, but if my torturer should suspect that I postponed it, influenced by his threats, he would surely find other and perhaps more dreadful means of revenge. He had vowed to be with me on my wedding night, yet he did not consider that threat as binding him to peace in the meantime. This was clear, for he had murdered poor Henry immediately after making this threat. I decided, therefore, that if my immediate union with Elizabeth would make her or my father happy, I would be married. I would not allow my enemies plotting against my life to delay it for even a single hour. In this state of mind, I wrote to Elizabeth. My letter was calm and affectionate. I fear, my beloved girl, I said, little happiness remains for us on earth, yet all I may one day enjoy is centered in you. Chase away your idle fears. To you alone I dedicate my life and my energies. I have only one secret, Elizabeth, but it is a dreadful one. When I reveal it to you, it will horrify you. Then, far from being surprised at my unhappiness, you will only wonder that I have survived what I have endured. I will share this tale of gloom and terror with you the day after we are married, for there must be no secrets between us. But until then, please do not mention it. This I ask of you, and I know you will agree. About a week after the arrival of Elizabeth's letter, we returned to Geneva. Elizabeth welcomed me with warm affection, yet tears flowed from her eyes when she saw my wasted body and feverish cheeks. I saw a change in her also. She was thinner and had lost much of that heavenly vivacity that had charmed me. However, her gentleness and soft looks of compassion made her a more fit companion for one blasted and miserable as I was. The calm which I briefly enjoyed did not last. Memory brought madness with it, and when I thought of what had passed, a real insanity possessed me. Sometimes I was furious and burned with rage. Sometimes I was low and depressed. In my low moods, I did not speak to anyone or even look at anyone. Instead, I sat, motionless, overwhelmed by miseries. Elizabeth alone had the power to draw me from these fits. Her gentle voice would soothe me when I was transported by passion and inspire me with human feelings when I was sunk in inactivity. She wept with me and for me. When reason returned, she would speak with me and urge me to accept my fate. Ah, it is well for the unfortunate to accept one's fate, but for the guilty there is no peace. The pain of guilt poisons even the pleasures of grief. Soon after my arrival, my father spoke of my immediate marriage with Elizabeth. I remained silent.
Have you, then, some other attachment?
None on earth. I love Elizabeth, and look forward to our marriage with delight. Let the day therefore be set. On the day I will dedicate myself in life or death to the happiness of my cousin. Love is love in 17 dash dash.
My dear Victor, be cheerful. Heavy misfortunes have befallen us, but let us respond by clinging closely to what remains. Let us transfer our love for those we have lost to those who yet live.
It is gross, but aren't they, wasn't she like an adopted cousin? I can't remember. Isn't Elizabeth not actually blood related to Victor? That's the retcon. Oh. I didn't realize they did that in the abridged version. Oh, that's so fascinating. Well, makes sense. Jeez. But yeah, I needed that drink of water. I see. Lovely. Thanks, thank you, Mary. Good work on that. I guess it's just the times, though. It's just kind of the times and the stuff. But it's gnarly. Gnarly to think about. Ugh.
Our circle will be small, but it will be bound close by the ties of affection and mutual misfortune. And in time, new and dear objects of care will replace those we have lost.
Such were the lessons of my father. But I could not forget about the creature and his threat. He had pronounced the words, "I will be with you on your wedding night," and I regarded my fate as unavoidable. But death was no evil to me if the loss of Elizabeth were set in the other scale. I therefore, with a contented and even cheerful appearance, agreed with my father that, if my cousin would consent, the ceremony should take place in 10 days. In this way I put, as I imagined, the seal to my fate. Great God! If for one instant I had thought what might be the hellish intention of my fiendish enemy, I would never have agreed to marry. I would have banished myself for ever from my native country and wandered over the earth a friendless outcast. But it was as if my enemy had magic powers and blinded me to his real intentions. I thought that I had set the stage for my own death, and only that. In fact, however, I had hurried the death of a far dearer victim. As the day of our marriage drew nearer, I felt my heart sink within me. I do not know why. Perhaps it was fear, or perhaps I had a prophetic feeling. In any case, I concealed my feelings and pretended to be cheerful. This brought smiles and joy to the face of my father, but it did not fool Elizabeth. She looked forward to her marriage with happiness, but also with a little fear. She knew from past misfortunes that what seemed certain and tangible happiness might suddenly disappear and leave no trace but deep and everlasting regret. Preparations were made for the wedding. Congratulatory visits were paid, and everyone seemed happy. I shut up, as well as I could, in my own heart the worries that haunted me and entered with seeming earnestness into the plans of my father. Through my father's efforts, a part of the inheritance of Elizabeth had been restored to her by the Austrian government. A small house on the shores of Lake Como belonged to her. It was agreed that, immediately after our marriage, we should proceed to the Villa Lavenza and spend our first days of happiness on the shores of Lake Como. In the meantime, I prepared myself, in case the fiend should attack me. I carried pistols and a dagger and was constantly on guard. These precautions made me feel safer. Indeed, as our wedding day approached, the threat began to seem more like a delusion, not worthy to disturb my peace. I began to think of the happiness I hoped for in my marriage as something no accident could prevent. Elizabeth was generally happy in the weeks preceding our wedding, but on the day of the wedding, she suddenly felt depressed. She seemed to have a presentiment of evil. Perhaps she was thinking of the dreadful secret I had promised to reveal to her the day after our wedding. My father did not notice the change in her. He was overjoyed, and, in the bustle of preparation, only recognized in the sadness of his niece the shyness of a bride. After the ceremony was performed, a large party was held at my father's, but Elizabeth and I did not attend. It had been agreed that we would begin our journey by water, sleeping that night at Evian, and continuing our voyage on the next day. Evian? The day was fair, the wind favorable. All smiled as we set off on our own. Those were the last moments of my life in which I enjoyed happiness. We passed rapidly along. I took Elizabeth's hand and spoke to her. You seem sad, my love." "Oh, my dear Victor," Elizabeth replied, "my heart is contented, but something whispers to me not to depend too much on the happy prospects that is opened before us. I know not why I feel this way. It is such a divine day. How happy and peaceful everything in nature appears." The wind which had carried us rapidly along sank at sunset into a light breeze. The soft air just ruffled the water and caused a pleasant motion among the trees as our boat approached the shore. From the land wafted the most delightful scent of flowers and hay. The sun sank beneath the horizon as we landed, and as I set foot on the shore, I felt those cares and fears come back which soon were to clasp me and cling to me forever. It was 8 o'clock when we landed. We walked for a short time on the shore, enjoying the fading light. Then we made our way to the inn. The wind now began to blow with great violence. The clouds swept across the sky swiftly. Suddenly, a heavy storm of rain swept in. I had been calm during the day, but as soon as night came, a thousand fears arose in my mind. I was worried and watchful. With my right hand, I kept hold of the pistol which was hidden in my coat. Every sound terrified me, but I resolved that I would not shrink from the conflict until either I destroyed him or he destroyed me. Elizabeth observed my nervousness for some time in timid and fearful silence, but there was something in my glance which communicated terror to her. "What is it that worries you, my dear Victor? What is it you fear?" Suddenly I thought about how fearful the combat which I expected at any moment would be to my wife, and I urged her to go back to the room. I decided I would not join her until I had obtained some knowledge as to the situation of my enemy. She left me, and I passed some time walking up and down the hallways of the house and inspecting every corner that might provide a hiding place to my enemy. But I found no trace of him. I was beginning to think that some stroke of good luck had occurred and prevented the monster from keeping his promise, when suddenly I heard a high-pitched and dreadful scream. It came from our bedroom. Like, they're really gonna... Oh no. The second I heard it, the whole truth rushed into my mind. My arms dropped. The motion of every muscle was suspended. I could feel the blood pulsing in my veins and tingling in my fingertips and toes. This lasted only an instant. The scream was repeated, and I rushed to our room. Great God! Why did I not die on the very spot? Why am I still here to describe the destruction of the best and purest creature on earth? Elizabeth was there, lifeless and still, thrown across the bed. Her head was hanging down, and her pale and distorted features were half covered by her hair. Everywhere I turn, I see the same figure. Her bloodless arms and lifeless form flung by the murderer on the bed. Could I look at this and continue to live? Alas, life is stubborn and clings closest where it is most hated. For a moment I lost consciousness. I fell senseless on the ground. When I recovered, I found myself surrounded by the people of the inn. They were afraid, but I was in despair. I escaped from them to the room where lay the body of Elizabeth, my love, my wife, so lately living, so dear, so worthy. She had been moved from the position in which I had seen her. She lay with her head upon her arm and a handkerchief laid across her face and neck. One might have guessed she was asleep. I rushed to her and embraced her, but the coldness of the limbs told me that what I now held in my arms had ceased to be the Elizabeth whom I had loved and cherished. The murderous mark of the fiend's grasp was visible on her neck, and the breath had ceased to come from her lips. Oh. While I still hung over her in an agony of despair, I happened to look up. The shutters had been thrown back, and with a sensation of horror not to be described, I saw at the open window a hideous figure. It was the monster. He had a horrible grin on his face. He seemed to be laughing at me. With his fiendish finger he pointed towards the corpse of my wife. I rushed towards the window and drew my pistol. I fired at him, but he escaped from me. He leaped down and, running with the swiftness of lightning, plunged into the lake. The sound of the pistol shot brought a crowd into the room. I pointed to the spot where he had disappeared, and we tried to follow him with boats, but in vain. After an hour we returned. Back on land, my head whirled round, and my steps were like those of a drunken man. I fell down at last in a state of utter exhaustion. A film covered my eyes, and my skin was parched with the heat of a fever. In this state I was carried back to the inn and placed on a bed, hardly conscious of what had happened. My eyes wandered around the room as if looking for something that had been lost. After a while I arose and, as if by instinct, crawled into the room where the corpse of my beloved lay. There were women weeping around. I hung over the body and joined my sad tears to theirs. I reflected confusedly on my misfortunes. The death of William, the execution of Justine, the murder of Henry, and lastly of my wife. And I could not say that the remaining friends were safe from the fiend. My father might be writhing under his grasp, and Ernest might be lying dead at his feet. These thoughts made me shudder and recalled me to action. I decided to return to Geneva at once. There were no horses available. I would have to return by boat. The wind was unfavorable, and the rain fell in torrents, but speed was essential. It was early morning, and I thought I might be able to arrive by night. I hired men to row and took an oar myself, for I had always found relief from worries and bodily exercise. But the sadness I felt was too much for me. The stress I had endured left me with no energy. I put down the oar and, leaning my head upon my hands, gave way to every gloomy idea that arose. Tears streamed from my eyes. The sun might shine, but nothing could appear to me as it had the day before. A fiend had snatched me from every hope of future happiness. No creature had ever been as miserable as I was. So frightful an outcome must be unique in the history of man. But why should I continue to explain all of these details? I will only say that, one by one, my friends were snatched away from me. I was left alone in the world. My own strength is exhausted, and I must tell, in a few words, what remains of my hideous story. I arrived at Geneva. My father and Ernest were still alive, but the former sank under the news that I brought. His eyes wandered in vacancy, for they had lost their charm and their delight. He had lost Elizabeth, whom he loved and doted on. Cursed be the fiend that brought such sadness on his gray hairs and doomed him to waste away in wretchedness. He could not go on living with the horrors that had piled up around him. The springs of existence suddenly gave way. He was unable to rise from his bed, and in a few days he died in my arms. What then became of me? I know not. I lost consciousness, and chains and darkness were the only objects that pressed upon me. Sometimes I dreamed that I wandered in flowery meadows with the friends of my youth, but I awoke and found myself in a dungeon. Depression followed, but by degrees I gained a clear understanding of my miseries and situation, and was then released from my prison. For they had called me mad, and for many months, as I understood, a single cell had been my home. Liberty, however, had been a useless gift to me, had I not, as I awakened to reason, at the same time awakened to revenge. As the memory of past misfortunes pressed upon me, I began to think about their cause. The cause of my miseries was the monster I had created, the miserable creature I had sent out into the world. I was possessed by maddening rage when I thought of him. I desired and passionately prayed that I might have him within my grasp to wreak my revenge on his cursed head. I began to reflect on the best means of capturing him, and for this purpose, about a month after my release, I went to see a judge in the town. I told him that I knew who had killed my family members, and that I demanded that he arrest the murderer. He listened to me with attention and kindness. "Be assured, sir," said he, "I will do everything in my power to find the villain." I thank you, I replied. "Listen, therefore, to the statement I have to make. It is a very strange tale. So strange, indeed, that I would be afraid you would not believe it if there were not something in the truth that leads people to believe. The story is too connected to be mistaken for a dream, and I have no reason to lie. My manner as I thus addressed him was impressive but calm. I decided to pursue my destroyer to death, and this purpose eased my suffering and for a while made life more tolerable. I told him my history briefly but with firmness and precision, marking the dates with accuracy and never ranting or shouting. The magistrate appeared at first perfectly incredulous, but as I continued he became more attentive and interested. I saw him sometimes shudder with horror. In other moments a lively surprise was visible on his countenance. When I had finished, I said, "Then this is the being whom I accuse. This is the creature I ask you to pursue and arrest. It is your duty as a judge." These final sentences caused a noticeable change in my listener. He had heard my story with that sort of half-belief that is given to tales of ghosts and supernatural events. However, when he was called upon to take official action on the matter, his disbelief returned. "I would willingly aid you in your pursuit," he said, "but the
creature of whom you speak appears to have powers that would defeat all of my attempts. Who can follow an animal that can travel rapidly over snow and ice and survive in caves? Besides, several months have passed since he committed the crimes you have described, and it is impossible to say where he might be now. I have no doubt he is near me, or, if he has taken shelter in the mountains, he may still be hunted, as men hunt for antelope. But I can see what you are thinking. You do not believe what I have said is true, and you do not intend to pursue my enemy. As I spoke, anger sparkled in my eyes. The judge was intimidated. "You are mistaken," he said. "I will do what I can for you, and if it is in my power to capture the monster, I assure you that he will be punished for his crimes. But I fear, from what you yourself have told me, that this will prove impossible. Every proper measure will be pursued, I assure you, but you must be prepared for disappointment." That is the one thing I cannot accept, and yet it is clear that nothing I might say here would be likely to change your mind. My revenge is of no importance to you. It is of great importance to me, however. I grant that the pursuit of revenge is evil, and yet I must confess that revenge is, at the moment, the great passion of my soul. It angers me that this murderer, whom I have turned loose upon society, still exists. You refuse my demand, my just demand. I must therefore rely on my own powers. I will devote my remaining energies to his destruction. That's a pretty hard line. I will devote my remaining energies to his destruction. I trembled as I said this. There was a frenzy in my manner. I felt some of that haughty fierceness with which martyrs of old possessed. But to a Genevan judge, whose mind was occupied with ideas very different than those of devotion and heroism, my fierceness looked like madness. It was clear that he regarded my accusations as the ravings of a delirious man, and he tried to soothe me as a nurse does a child. I stormed out of his office in furious anger. What an insane chapter. What an absolutely wild series of events that were just crammed into a couple pages. Holy crap. This poor fellow. I'm sure he's going to turn it around. Things are going to only get better. Hey, nowhere to go but up, right? Am I right? Am I right, Mr. Victor? Am I right, Mr. F? Oh, boy. Chapter 24. My situation was one in which all voluntary thought was swallowed up and lost. I was hurried along by intense anger. Revenge alone provided me with strength and self-control. It shaped my feelings and allowed me to be clever and calm at times when my delirium or death would otherwise have been my fate. The first decision I made was to leave Geneva forever. My country, which I had loved, had become a hateful place. I gathered up some money, along with a few jewels that had belonged to my mother, and departed. I have been wandering ever since. I have crossed a vast portion of the earth and have endured many hardships. How I have lived I hardly know. Many times I have stretched my failing arms and legs upon the sandy plain and prayed for death, but revenge has kept me alive. I dared not die and leave my enemy among the living. The night I left Geneva, I passed the cemetery where William, Elizabeth, and my father were buried. I entered and found it silent, except for the leaves of the trees, which were gently stirred by the wind. At first I grieved, but in a short while my grief gave way to rage. My family members were dead, but their murderer still lived. To destroy him, I felt I must drag out my own weary existence. I knelt on the grass and swore an oath. By the sacred earth on which I kneel, by the deep and eternal grief that I feel, I swear to pursue the demon who has caused this misery, until he or I shall die in mortal conflict. For this purpose I will preserve my life. To execute this dear revenge I will continue to walk the earth, which otherwise is of no interest to me. And I call on you, spirits of the dead, and on you, wandering ministers of revenge, to aid and guide me in my work. Let the cursed and hellish monster feel the misery that now torments me."
I had begun speaking solemnly and calmly. However, as I went on, I grew more and more furious until I was almost choking with rage. I was answered through the stillness of night by a loud and fiendish laugh. It rang in my ears. The mountains re-echoed it, and I felt as if all the inhabitants of hell stood around me, mocking and laughing. The laughter died away, then a well-known and hated voice, apparently close to my ear, addressed me in an audible whisper.
"I'm satisfied, miserable wretch. You've decided to live, and I am satisfied."
I darted towards the spot from which the sound seemed to come, but the devil escaped my grasp. The broad disk of the moon shone full upon his ghastly and distorted shape as he ran away with more than human speed. I pursued him, and for many months this has been my task. Guided by a slight clue, I followed the windings of the Rhone, but in vain. The blue Mediterranean appeared, and by a strange chance I saw the fiend hide himself in a ship bound for the Black Sea. I took passage in the same ship, but he escaped. I know not how. Amidst the wilds of Tartary and Russia, although he still evaded me, I have followed in his tracks. Sometimes the peasants, scared by this horrible creature, informed me of his path. Sometimes he himself left some mark to guide me. The snows descended on my head, and I saw his huge footprints on the white plain. You who are just entering into life, you whom care is new and misery unknown, how can you understand what I have felt and still feel? Cold, want, and fatigue. These were the last of the pains which I was destined to endure. I was cursed by some devil, and I carried about with me my own eternal hell. Yet still a spirit of good followed and directed my steps, and when things seemed most hopeless, this spirit would find some surprising way to save me. Sometimes when my body, overcome by hunger, sank in exhaustion, a meal was prepared for me in the desert that restored me and lifted my spirits. The meal was a simple one, such as the peasants of the country ate, but I do not doubt that it was set there by the spirits that I had called on to aid me. Often when I was dry and I was parched by Often when all was dry and I was parched by thirst, a slight cloud would darken the sky, shed a few drops to revive me, and then vanish. I followed, when I could, the courses of the rivers, but the creature generally avoided these, as it was there that people chiefly collected. In other places human beings were seldom seen, and I had to survive on the wild animals that crossed my path. I had money with me and gained the friendship of the villagers by giving much of it away. Sometimes I bought food and shared it with those who had provided me with the fire and utensils for cooking. This way of living was hateful to me, and it was during sleep alone that I could taste joy. Oh, blessed sleep. Bro described like great philanthropy and generosity, and followed it up with, "This way of living was hateful to me, and it was during sleep alone that I could taste joy." Well, thanks, buddy. Real nice, real good stuff. Often, when most miserable, I fell asleep and was relieved by happy dreams. The spirits that guarded me sent me these dreams so that I could retain the strength needed to fulfill my purposes. Without these periods of rest, I would have sunk under my hardships. During the day, I was sustained and inspired by the hope of night. For in my dreams I saw my friends, my wife, and my beloved country. I saw the kind face of my father, heard the silver tones of my Elizabeth's voice, and saw Henry enjoying health and youth. At such moments revenge died in my heart, and I pursued the demon more as a task was given to me by heaven than as the passionate desire of my soul. What his feelings were whom I What his feelings were whom I pursued, I cannot know. Sometimes he left marks in writing on the bark of trees that stirred up my anger. "My reign is not yet over," he wrote on one tree. "Follow me," he wrote on another. "I seek the everlasting ices of the north, where you will feel the misery of cold and frost, which do not bother me. You will find near this place, if you are not too slow, a dead rabbit. Eat and be refreshed. Come on, my enemy. Some day we will wrestle for our lives, but you must endure many hard and miserable hours before that can happen." Scoffing devil! I will be revenged. Never will I give up my search until you or I die. Then with what joy shall I join my Elizabeth and my departed friends in the life to come? As I made my way north, the snows thickened and the temperature dropped. The peasants were shut up in their hovels, and only a few of the most hardy came out to hunt. The rivers were covered with ice, so no fish could be obtained. Whatever made my life more difficult or painful gave pleasure to my enemy. One message that he left for me read, "Prepare. Your suffering has only just begun. Wrap yourself in furs and gather supplies, for we shall soon begin a journey to a land where your suffering may be great enough to satisfy my hatred." These scoffing words only made me more angry and more determined. I swore that I would not fail in my purpose and called on heaven to support me. I continued to travel across deserted lands. I purchased a sledge and a team of dogs and learned to drive my sledge across the snows at great speed. Eventually I arrived at a wretched little town on the seashore. I asked if the fiend had been there and gained some information. A gigantic monster, they said, had arrived the night before, armed with a rifle and many pistols. Those who had seen him had run away in fear. He had then carried off their food and placed it in a sledge. The next day he harnessed his dogs and continued his journey, passing onto the frozen sea. He was traveling, however, in a direction that led to no land. They were therefore sure that he would speedily be destroyed by the breaking of the ice or frozen by the eternal frosts. On hearing this, I suffered a brief period of despair. The creature had escaped me on land, and I would have to chase him across the frozen ocean. As the native of a sunny climate, I could not hope to survive for many weeks in such frigid weather, yet I could not bear to think what my enemy might live and be triumphant. Soon my rage and my desire for revenge returned, and like a mighty tide, overwhelmed every other feeling. After a short pause, during which the spirits of the dead seemed to hover around and call on me to pursue my revenge, I prepared for my journey. I exchanged my land sledge for one equipped for traveling on the rougher surface of the frozen ocean and purchased supplies. Then I turned my back on land and drove my sledge out onto the frozen ocean. Since then I have endured terrible misery, and only my desire for revenge has kept me from giving up. For 3 weeks I saw nothing but snow and ice. Then one day I caught sight of a dark speck upon the icy plain. I squinted to see what it could be. I made out a sledge and the misshapen body of my enemy. I uttered a wild cry of joy. Warm tears filled my eyes, which I hastily wiped away, that they might not block the view I had of the demon. Warm tears filled my eyes, which I hastily wiped away, that they might not block the view I had of the demon. I drove the dogs onward. The creature's sledge was still visible in the distance, and I began to gain on it little by little. After a few hours of chase, I was less than a mile behind him, and my heart bounded within me. Just when I seemed to be on the verge of catching up with my enemy, my hopes were suddenly extinguished. Unfrozen waters rolled and swelled beneath the ice, and, with a terrible roar, the sheet of ice on which I was traveling cracked and split. A ribbon of open water appeared, first in front of me and then beside me. In a few minutes, a wild sea was rolling between me and my enemy. I was left drifting on a piece of ice. I was trapped, and I could see that the piece of ice on which I was floating was being gradually worn away on all sides, threatening me with a hideous death. In this manner, many dreadful hours passed. Several of my dogs died, and I myself was about to give up all hope when I caught sight of your ship. This gave me hope. I had no idea that ships ever sailed so far north and was amazed at the sight. I destroyed part of my sledge and used the wood to construct oars. I then used the oars to move my ice raft in the direction of your ship. I had decided, if you were heading south, still to trust myself to the mercy of the seas rather than abandon my purpose. I hoped to persuade you to give me a boat with which I could pursue my enemy, but you were headed north, and you took me on board when my energy was exhausted. Had you not done so, I would soon have sunk under my hardships into a death which I still dread, for my task is unfulfilled. Oh, when will the guiding spirit that leads me to the demon allow me the rest I need? Or must I die while he yet lives? If I do die, I swear to me, Walton, that you will do what you can to see that he does not escape. I will not ask you to chase him and endure the hardships I have undergone. No, I am not so selfish. Yet, when I am dead, if he should appear, if the ministers of revenge should bring him to you, swear that he shall not live. Swear that he shall not triumph over my many sorrows and survive to add to the list of his dark crimes. He is eloquent and persuasive, and once his words had even had power over my heart. But do not trust him. His soul is as hellish as his form, full of trickery and hatred. Hear him not. Call on the names of William, Justine, Henry, Elizabeth, my father, and of the wretched Victor Frankenstein, and thrust your sword into his heart. Walton, in continuation. August 26th, 17 something or other. Well, you've read this strange and terrifying story, Margaret, and do you not feel your blood freeze with horror? I was terrified to hear it. Sometimes seized with sudden agony, Frankenstein could not continue his tale. Sometimes his voice sounded broken, yet it could also be piercing. His fine and lovely eyes sometimes shone with anger, but at other times they seemed sad and sorrowful. Sometimes he had managed to keep control of himself and related the most horrible incidents with a calm, controlled voice. But then, like a volcano bursting forth, his face would suddenly change to an expression of the wildest rage as he called down curses on his enemy. His tale seemed to me to be true and when he told it, but I will admit that the letters of Felix and Safi, which he showed me, and the sighting of the monster by men on our ship, convinced me of the truth of his story more than his claims alone could have. It seems, then, that such a monster really exists. I cannot doubt it, yet I am lost in surprise and astonishment. Sometimes I tried to get from Frankenstein some details about what the creature looked like and what materials he was made of, but he would never give me any. "Are you mad, my friend?" he said. "Or where does your senseless curiosity lead you? Would you also create for yourself and the world a terrible enemy? Peace, peace. Learn from my miseries, and do not seek to increase your own." Frankenstein discovered that I had made notes concerning his history. He asked to see them and then corrected and added to them in many places, but mainly in giving life and spirit to the conversations he had with his enemy. "Since you have preserved my story," he said, "I should look it over. I would not want to leave the world with an incorrect version of events." A week had passed while I listened to Frankenstein's tale, the strangest tale I have ever heard. I am fascinated by Frankenstein himself. I wish to soothe his troubled spirits, but I am not sure it will be possible to do this. Can I comfort a man so miserable and so hopeless? I don't think I can. The only joy that he can achieve now will be when he composes his shattered spirit to accept death, and the peace that comes with death. And yet there is one thing that comforts him still. In his dreams he sometimes talks with his friends, and he believes that the spirits with whom he speaks are not merely the creations of his imagination, but real beings who visit him from the regions of some remote world. This faith gives this faith gives a seriousness to his dreams and makes them almost as interesting to me as truth. Our conversations are not always confined to his own history and misfortunes. We sometimes discuss books and literature. On those subjects he displays remarkable knowledge. His eloquence is forcible and touching, and his stories often leave me with tears in my eyes. What a glorious creature he must have been earlier in life, if he is so noble and godlike in ruin. He seems to feel his own worth and the greatness of his fall. When I was younger, he told me, I believed myself destined for some great achievement. My feelings are deep, but I possessed a coolness of judgment that fitted me for great achievements. The sense of my own powers supported me when others would have been discouraged. For I deemed it criminal to throw away in useless grief talents that might be useful to my fellow creatures. When I thought about the work I had completed, I could not rank myself within the herd of common schemers. After all, I had created a sensitive and rational animal. But this thought, which supported me in the early part of my career, now serves only to plunge me lower in the dust. My imagination was vivid, and my powers of analysis were considerable. In addition, I was very dedicated to my studies. By the union of these qualities, I not only came up with the idea, but I also executed the creation of a living creature. While I was at work on the project, I was inspired by dreams. I delighted in my powers. From my infancy, I was full of high hopes and lofty ambition. But now I have sunk. Oh, my friend, if you had known me as I once was, you would not recognize me in my current condition. In those days, I was almost never discouraged or depressed. A high destiny seemed to drive me on, until I fell, never again to rise. Must I then lose this admirable being? I have longed for a friend. I have looked for someone who would sympathize with and love me. On these empty seas I have found such a one, but I fear I have gained him only to know his value and lose him. I have tried to convince him of the value of living, but I do not think I have succeeded. I thank you, Walton, he said the other day, for your kind intentions towards so miserable a wretch. But when you speak of new ties and fresh affections, do you think that any can replace those who are gone? Can any man be to me what Henry Clerval was? Can any woman be to me another Elizabeth? The companions of our childhood always possess a certain power over our minds, which hardly any later fiend can obtain. They know us, they understand us. I had wonderful friends, and they are with me, still. Wherever I am, the soothing voice of my Elizabeth and the conversation of Henry Clerval will be ever whispered in my ear. They are dead, and I have only remained among the living for one reason. I must pursue and destroy the being to whom I gave existence. Then my purpose will be fulfilled, and I may die. Wow. Bad hangnail. We're on the brink, I can tell. My beloved sister, September 2nd. We are in great danger. I do not know whether I will ever see England again. I am surrounded by great mountains of ice, which will leave us no way to escape and threaten every moment to crush the ship. The brave fellows whom I have persuaded to be my companions look towards me for help, but I have none to give them. There is something terrible about our situation. It is terrible to reflect that the lives of all these men are in danger because of me. If we are lost, my mad schemes are the cause. And what, Margaret, will be the state of your mind? If I am lost, you will not hear of my destruction, and you will nervously await my return. Years will pass, and you will experience periods of hopelessness. Oh, my beloved sister, the thought of you suffering in this way is more terrible to me than the possibility of my own death. But you have a husband and lovely children. You may be happy, Heaven bless you and make you so. My unfortunate guest regards me with the tenderest compassion. He tries to fill me with hope and talks as if life were a possession he valued. He reminds me of how often the same accidents have happened to others who have explored this sea. And, in spite of myself, he fills me with cheerful thoughts. Even the sailors feel the power of his words. When he speaks, they no longer despair. He rouses their energies, and while they hear his voice, they believe these vast mountains of ice are molehills which will vanish before the determination of man. But these feelings are short-lived. Each new day fills them with new fears, and I almost dread a mutiny caused by this misery. September 5th. A scene has just passed of such unusual interest that I cannot keep from recording it here. I do so even though it is likely that these papers will never reach you. We are still surrounded by mountains of ice and still in danger of being crushed by them. The cold is excessive, and many of my fortunate comrades have already died. Frankenstein has daily declined in health. A feverish fire still glimmers in his eyes, but he is exhausted. We are able to wake him up, but he speedily sinks back into an apparent lifelessness. I mentioned in my last letter the fears I entertained of a mutiny. This morning, as I watched the pale face of my friend, his eyes half closed and his limbs hanging listlessly, I was visited by half a dozen of the sailors, who demanded I let them into the cabin. They entered, and their leader addressed me. He told me that he and the men with him had been chosen by the other sailors to make a request which, in justice, I could not refuse. We were surrounded by ice and would probably never escape, but the men were worried about what might happen if the ice broke up and released the ship. They feared if this occurred, I would be reckless enough to continue my voyage and lead them into fresh dangers. They insisted, therefore, that I promise them that if the ship should be freed, I would turn it around and sail south. This speech troubled me. I had not given up, nor had I considered the possibility of returning if set free. Yet could I, in justice, refuse this demand? I hesitated before I answered, and Frankenstein surprised me by speaking up. He had been silent and indeed appeared hardly to have the energy to pay attention, but now he stirred himself. His eyes sparkled and his cheeks flushed with temporary energy. Turning towards the men, he said, "What do you mean? What do you demand of your captain? Are you, then, so easily turned from your design? Did you not call this a glorious voyage? And why was it glorious? Because it was full of dangers and terror? It was a glorious voyage because with each new incident, your strength was to be called forth and your courage exhibited. It was glorious because danger and death surrounded it, and these you were to brave and overcome. These are the reasons why it is a glorious undertaking. If successful, you would be praised as brave men who risked death for honor and for the benefit of mankind. And now, at the first hint of danger, in the first trial of your courage, you shrink away. Now you are content to be remembered as men who had not strength enough to endure cold and danger. And so, poor souls, they were chilly and returned to their warm firesides. You need not have come this far and dragged your captain to the shame of a defeat merely to prove yourselves cowards. Oh, be men, or be more than men. Be steady to your purposes. Be firm as a rock. This ice is changeable and cannot withstand you if you stay at all. It cannot command you if you say that it shall not. Do not return to your families with the sign of disgrace marked on your brows. Return as heroes who have fought and won and who know not what it is to turn their backs on the enemy." He spoke so powerfully that the men were moved. They looked at one another and were unable to reply. At last I spoke. I told them to retire and to think about what had been said. I told them that I would not lead them farther north if they were strongly opposed, but I hoped that they would once again show the bravery for which I had chosen them. They retired, and I turned towards my friend, but he seemed exhausted. How all this will end, I know not. For myself, however, I'd rather die than return shamefully with my purpose unfulfilled. Yet I fear such will be my fate. The men unsupported by ideas of glory and honor are unlikely to continue. September 7th. The die is cast. I have agreed to return if we are not destroyed by the ice. Thus are my hopes blasted by fear and indecision. I will return ignorant and disappointed. It requires more philosophy than I possess to bear this injustice with patience. September 12th. It is past. I am returning to England. I have lost my hopes of reaching the pole, and I have also lost my friend. But I will explain all of this to you, my dear sister. And while I am blown towards England and towards you, I will not despair. Hi, Ospin. What's going on? On September 9th, the ice began to move, and roarings like thunder were heard at a distance as the ice split and cracked in every direction. We were in great danger, but as we could only wait and see what had happened, my attention was occupied by my unfortunate guest. His illness had worsened to such a degree that he was entirely confined to his bed. The ice cracked around us and was driven towards the north. A breeze sprang from the west, and on the 11th the passage towards the south opened up. When the sailors saw this, they felt their return to the native country was certain. A shout of joy broke from them. Frankenstein, who was dozing, awoke and asked what had caused the uproar. "They shout," I said, "because they will soon return to England." "Do you, then, really return?" "Alas, yes. I cannot refuse their demands. I cannot lead them into danger if they are not willing, so I must return." "Do so, if you will," he replied. "But I will not. You may give up your purpose, but mine is assigned to me by heaven, and I dare not. I am weak, but surely the spirits who assist my revenge will give me the strength I need." Saying this, he tried to get up from the bed, but the effort was too much for him. He fell back and fainted. It was long before he recovered, and I briefly thought that he had died. At length he opened his eyes. He breathed with difficulty and was unable to speak. The surgeon gave him some medicine and ordered me to leave him undisturbed. In the meantime, he told me that my friend had certainly not many hours to live. I could only grieve and be patient. I sat by his bed, watching him. His eyes were closed, and I thought he slept. But presently he called to me in a weak voice and asked me to come near. I did so, and he said, "Alas, the strength I relied on is gone. I feel that I shall soon die, and he, my enemy, may still be alive. Think not, Walton, that in the last moments of my existence I feel that burning hatred and strong desire of revenge I once expressed. I do not. But I do feel that I am justified in desiring the death of my enemy. During these last days, I have been occupied in examining my past behavior. I do not find it blamable. In a fit of madness, I created a creature capable of thinking. I had a duty to promote his happiness and well-being, but there was another duty even more important than that one. I mean my duty to beings of my own species. Urged by this view, I refused to create a companion for the first creature, and I feel I was right to refuse." And that was page 289. Wow. I thought for sure we would finish it. I knew the page. I think this is the final chapter, though. We are very close. Yeah, I think we are very, very close. I really thought we were going to finish it. We're so close. Either way. We're there. Let's see. Now, Campaign Evolved was actually giving me some trouble earlier and not launching properly, but let's see if it's changed its tune. But if not, we may have to just go back to Halo 2. Which, hey, that's not a terrible thing. There's no bad Halos, really. We usually get the intros. Oh yeah. No audio for you guys. Turn that up. Unreal Engine, yep. And then we get this black screen for a while. And nothing comes of it. Well, it seems that this will go on, and that's why I kept Task Manager open. Because that's what you do. You just gotta get rid of it. So we'll then continue with Halo 2. But first, I think we will take a very quick break. That was an hour and 15 minutes, probably more an hour and 10 because I started the stream fairly late. Yeah, maybe an hour and 5. Anyway, we will be right back. Please go get yourself something nice to drink, something refreshing, something hydrating. If you could, you would try a Halo game. Why can't you try a Halo game? You just mean like you don't want to drop any money on a new one, or you just like can't play shooters? Oh. I'll keep waiting. I think that should be okay. Oh, you only have a Nintendo Switch. I mean, limited to what games you can get. Right. You don't have a PC. You don't have a. You know, a little side PC you can work on. You can make a build out of. You could probably find a 360 that works. It might be okay. I have to update Xbox. Maybe that's important. Update the Xbox app. I would hate if that's the reason that this isn't launching or working, but oh. Oh yeah, it's updated. Okay, I guess that worked. Let's try launching it again. I feel like it will happen. I feel like a Halo will be around long enough, and Nintendo's hardware will eventually, like, get so. Their handheld hardware will eventually get so powerful that they'll be playing some crazy Halo games on the Switch. So that would be pretty cool. And we shall await the day, you and I, Ospen, until we could be the Master Chief on the Nintendo Switch. The Switch 54. The Switch 64. Ooh, the Switch 64. Switch T4. That would be something. Okay. Yeah, we are going to take a quick break. I'm going to bring back the tunes. And I will see you all in a quick second. Thank you so much for being here. And we shall be right back.
Oh, welcome back, one and all. Thank you for being here. Yeah, campaign evolved has given us some trouble. Doesn't want to seem to launch, so we're back to Halo 2, and that's no problem. It is no issue. So yeah, we are back with the skulls we love. Even though I have my reservations about exploding grunts, I've kept it going this far. I'm just sticking to it. Legendary Mission 10, Sacred Icon. Oh my god, it's Eggham. Yes, it is Nuggies 64. You know me by one of my many personas. Welcome. I have been Eggham. I have been Egg on Ham. I have been Green Eggs and Ham.
Succeed where others have failed. Lower the shield protecting the sacred icon.
You may or may not know the many of the eggs and ham. I'm sure you do. This will be an immaculate guessing game. I can't wait to figure out who you are and who you might be. I'm lost in the Halo sauce though. I might be a little locked in because I'm playing on the hardest difficulty.
This is unprecedented. Unacceptable.
The hierarch is dead, Commander.
Where are my subtitles?
Was within our grasp. If you had not withdrawn our phantoms.
Are you questioning my decision?
No, Holy One. I only wish to express my concern that the brutes...
Recommissioning the Guard was a radical step. But recent events have made it abundantly clear that the elites can no longer guarantee our safety.
I shall relay your decision.
Ha 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 ha. Wish me luck in being filled with glee. I've figured it out. I have solved it. I have solved the riddle completely. You've played your hand too soon.
You know, Arbiter,
It's so over. It's so over for you nuggies.
time to quit the High Council because of this exchange of hats.
I don't want to skip it. Pausing it, skip it.
These are trying times for all of us.
Even as the humans' annihilation filled us with satisfaction, the loss of one of the sacred rings racked our hearts with grief.
Putting aside our sorrow, we renewed our faith in the prophecy that other rings would be found, and see how our faith has been rewarded.
Halo, its divine
They will be
wind
found.
will rush through the
Riddle solved. Follower gained. Let's go.
along the path to salvation.
How to start this process? For ages we searched for one who might unlock the secrets of the rings. An oracle. And with your help we found it.
With appropriate humility, we plied the oracle with questions, and it, with clarity and grace, has shown us the key.
You will journey to the surface of the ring and retrieve this sacred icon. With
The
it,
activation
we
index.
shall
I knew it.
fulfill our promise
I remember.
Salvation for all.
and begin the great journey.
And begin the great journey!
Systems down. We will head straight to the library. I do not wish to keep the hierarchs waiting. The humans killed the prophet of Gret. Who was it? Who do you think? The demon is here? Why? Looking for a little payback? Retrieving the icon is my only concern. Of course.
Let's go, Arby. Oh, let's go to Arby's. Oh.
Lower the shield, Arbiter. I'll pick you up when you finish.
Nice. And we're here. Wow. This does not look like the cutscene at all. Whoa. Ooh, do I want Needler? Yeah. Oh. Right, I've been playing Campaign Evolved. This is... The controls are going to take some getting used to. Just for a sec. Actually, Plasma Pistol is probably warranted. Fuck. Where is it? There it is. Well, there it is, chat. There it is. We'll be there at 290. There it is. No, that doesn't do any fucking thing. God dang it. Easy. Oh. Wow, crazy. Okay. Okay. That's not reload. Dang it. Should have. Oh yeah, pages. Oh, the pages are about to come. Don't you stay put, Nuggies. You don't blink. You'll miss another page rearing its head. Okay, another backup pistol there. That's good to know. Ugh. Wow. I am barely noticing getting hit. I'll throw my weapon at him. No, that's what this does. Shit. Ho 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 ho. Safe. Oh my god! Oh, please. Oh my god, let it end. This is the first area. Oh my god! There's no way. What about, okay, did one of them drop a beam? One of them had to have dropped a beam. There we are. Okay, am I stupid? Are they just infinitely respawning? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm stupid. There's a dot. There's a dot I'm not connecting. These alien mosquitoes are on my ass. Yeah, you're definitely right. Alien mosquitoes is a great way to call these guys. Oh my goodness. I said the pages would come. But I must be missing something. I feel like they're just respawning. I feel like I'm... Wow. Okay. Okay. Oh dear. Let's hope this is the entire level. Oh yeah, let's fix this real quick. Where are my subtitles? Video. Gameplay. Accessibility? Subtitles on. Yeah. Save settings. Oh. I think I figured it out. Yes, I had to blow up that thing, and then I jumped down here. Oh my god. Oh. Okay then. Must I blow this up as well? Oh. Excuse me? Fellas. What are we even doing here? Timbers equals shivered. Yep. You're dang right. What? Okay. Interesting. I do not remember that in the slightest. That is so funny. They take a full needler clip and then they open. Oh, hey guys. Hey, hey. Actually, you know what? Dual wielding would be great. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Oh, I guess those are spawn points. Well, that's fair. Well, that's fair. Terminal. God dang. These are sharp. Oh, fuck. Oh my word. Oh. Dang it. Diggity. Dang it. Don't you dare open. Oh my god. Okay, camo is my friend. Oh. Okay, that's probably easier. Waste less ammo. Oh. Oh. Could the parasite have made its way onto this ring as well? Oh, hello, little buddy. Hello, guys. I had to fight the urge not to shoot you right there.
Arbiter, savior.
Oh, they're fighting these pests. Actually, the grunts will be useful against these guys with their plasma pistols. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah, boys. We are now the hell yeah, boys. Fuck out of there. Where? Fucking hell. Oh! Don't you dare. Oh my god. Dude, the instinct to shoot them is too strong. It's crazy. Ah! Man, he didn't wanna. He just wanted to scare people. He didn't mean anything by it. Where the fuck? Where'd you come from, buddy? Oh, there we go. Hell yeah. Again, meant camo, went camo, and I meant to reload. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I won't. Hopefully they won't pursue me. What is up with these subtitles? Accessibility. Subtitle setting, yes. Subtitles on. On. But they're not on. Man, the only thing we fought this whole level is fucking sentinels. Oh my goodness. Tragique. Yep. Yep. Oh my god. Why? Oh. There we go. At least they explode. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Didn't think about that, did ya? Oh my god, where'd you come from? Can't keep doing that. Oh. Did that work? No. Okay, yeah. Sentinel beam is a great thing to use on sentinels. Who would have guessed? Oh my god. Why? Why are you still here? Why do you keep coming back? Why do I feel like I can't move on until you're gone? Wow. Brutal. Brutal but relatable. Ah! These fucking alien mosquitoes. Take a different beam. I just need to leave. Like, why do I linger? Deeper I must go. Oh my god. Hey, buddies. Oh, again, almost shot him. Okay, now the subtitles are working. Man. They really sent me along with a bunch of grunts, huh? Oh, right. Up top. I could just run through this part, couldn't I? Oh, I get to fight Big Robot. Enforcer? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Under the floor is pretty nice.
Ah!
Oh my word. Where hast thou forsaken me? Oh wow, okay. Two stickies and no icky, huh? No way that just happened! No way that just happened! That sucks. Oh, that sucks. I was on a pretty good roll right there. Why did that just wear out? Oh, I'm so screwed. This way. Just try and make it down one more time. Oh, but I want to get that grunt stuff. I will have his things. I will have his things that I need. Plasma grenades and such. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm not safe. Alright. Alright, I have something here. I might just have something here. Where are the spawns? What does it take to destroy one with a beam? Hey, guy. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, clench it, clench it. Clench it. I'll clench it. Okay, not much to destroy those with a beam. That's cool. Okay, okay. That's cool, that's cool, that's cool. I like that, I like that. Hey. And it's dead. That's okay. Oh, swapped you that instead. Hey, guy. Hey, other guy. Man, you really make that do a lot of damage when you guys want, huh? Okay, that's done. Ugh. Yipe. I ought to bring one down here so I have more ammo. Where are you, buddy? Where are you, guy? Where are you, friend? Goodbye, my buddy. Oh boy. Gotta cool it down. And it's dead. I don't think I have another one around here. Oh. No. Debris. All of that. Just debris. Just debris in it. Oh dear, and the enforcer's up there. Right, can't forget about him. Can't forget about him. I forgot how to move. I forgot how I must make moves around here. And we're back. We're quiet, we're swift like the night. Hallelujah. Where's the beast? I just want to peek out. No way. Wow, those things are powerful. Oh, come on. We do not die here. Come down here, face me. Wait, what? Whoop. Easy, okay. Just wait a tick. Oh, ho, ho. Oh, ho, ho, dear. No, that wouldn't, yeah. Okay. Ooh. I'm guessing as I destroy these ones, new ones open up. Hee hee. Oh my god. Never mind. These take forever for the beam. Oh, hey guy. Is that it? Oh man. Y'all get fucked. Oh, never mind. I'm getting fucked. Please don't. Don't kill a man before his first checkpoint. Oh, what? Okay. Wow, okay. Made some enemies. Oh, that's not the melee button. Oh, God. Ugh. Anytime I think I have the drop on them, one of them has the drop on me. Oh, man. Ugh. Exhausting. Why do you activate? No, man. Please.
Release the power source. Now, find a way to remove it from its cradle.
Okay. Checkpoint. Checkpoint. Oh, man, where are all the beams? I've killed so many sentinels. Where are the beams? We're doing good. We're doing good for a boss fight. For deaths, I thought we'd have way more by now. I do not see a thing about a power source or a cradle. My God. What? What? Guess I'm going this way again. Oh, this is exhausting. Here we go. I do not know what I'm supposed to do, or where I'm supposed to go. I figured out the towers, and that was it. Oh, main console. Yes. I'll do that. And then what? Ah. Well, of course. Buyer's remorse. That's what that says. I thought about doing this actually. If that comes up. Then where's chat? Chat's there. Now chat can be there. Perfect. And you can see the chapters. Buyer's remorse. And we're moving. It's a gondola. It's a gondola level. Well, at least we're gonna await the fucking spawn points. My God.
Our path to the library is clear. Pick you up on the bed here.
Hallelujah. Oh, shoot. Oh, here we are. Here we go. Oh, what? Oh, hey, guy. Oh, the Enforcer is... Oh, the Enforcer's mad. Oh, the Enforcer's mad at me. Let the Flood take him out. Hey, guys. Good to see you again. Bro, I am not your enemy. Oh, why am I not using something? Hey, guy. Am I to take another one out? Is that what you're telling me? Oh boy. Everything burns. While everyone screams, burning their lives, burning my dreams. Oh my god. Oh man, I really, I don't like them. I don't like them at all, really. Not a big fan, not a big fan, indeed, no. Okay, that's a lot easier. That's like, I have to aim for the big open bit. That kind of makes sense. More spawns. Let's get out of here. That's you two. Will 4 be enough? No. That's what's great about sentinel beams, is that always spawn more sentinel beams. Oh my god, except where the fuck are you all coming from? Oh, hey guy. Enemy of my enemy is not my friend. Woohoo! Okay, you're good, you're good. Okay. Oh, Oh, nice. That was a bit of a long shot. Didn't know how effective melee would be. Oh my god. Oh man. They always gotta sneak up on me. It's just so rude. It's just such a rude thing to do to a person. This is progress, okay? Now that I know how to fucking do it properly, we're gonna shut down all these goddamn terminals. I bet these ones gonna open up. Maybe. Oh, and a new one. Oh, hey, guy. Yeah, the shielded ones can go suck a million dicks. Shielded ones suck. Oh, yep, I knew it. Those are gonna open. Let's just go invisible for a quick sec. Woo! Oh, there we go. Ho ho ho. Almost had me. But no, sir. Oh, oh. He may. Ooh. Dude, if that was a shielded one, that would have been it. Oh my. Oh, okay. Okay, they're mad. I get it. Oh, where did you come from? Wow. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The more of these that I destroy, it seems more of them show up. So let's just put it all to the test and throw it all on the line. For death and glory. Ow, ow. Where are you? Ow, where are you? Not fair, not allowed to be invisible. Oh. Oh. Oh, nice. Okay, checkpoint. Love to see it. It's an unfortunate fight because as I degrade the Sentinels... Oh, except maybe not. Oh my god. Except they really don't like me. They really like shooting me instead of the Flood. Oh, hey guy. Oh, hey guy. Oh, man. Big 300. Big 300. Yeah, let's maybe switch it up. Whoop. Wow. Wow. Okay, so Sentinels are angrier than ever. Oh. I just gotta train it? Is that all I gotta do? Sorry. 1 second, allow me to acquire more beam. I'm sorry, sir. Allow me to acquire more beam. Ugh. Goodness, let that be the end of it. Peace. I just want to enjoy this. Just want to sit out here, be happy, enjoy the hill that I've conquered. I'm the king now. With this checkpoint, I put it behind me. Oh god. Oh, hey little guys. Little sporelings. Man, I was really hoping to see the Flood in Campaign Evolved. I haven't seen them yet. Oh, come on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah! Ah! Where though? Oh my god. Shotgun. Shot through the heart. Ain't you to blame. RBU give low. Oh, bad name, bad. I play my part. I hate this part, but I like this game. RB, you give the Flood a bad name, bad name. You give the Flood out. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where is the spawn? Oh, I might go this way. I might go this way or that. How am I to know? Open this Hong Kong junk. Oh man. Oh my god! I believe I need a flood weapon and a sentinel weapon. I need to know when to use them. Yes, that's out of munitions. Yep, and then... What? You know what? That's even better. Use that, do that. I can just run. I think this whole section is honestly pretty trivial. Okay, one hit that time. One hit that time. Burp. I thought the beam rifle would be great. Or the beam, sentinel beam, would be great against these guys, but I guess not. Oh boy. They're rough. Okay. Maybe I ought to use these grenades I hear so much about. Oh my god, I got a little checkpoint there. I love that. Okay, I gotta... You know what, I wonder if SMG is any good. You know what? Fight melee. Oh yeah.
Proceed to the objective. We'll hold down as long as we can.
Oh yep. Here we are. Oof.
I care not for the humans.
Oh, dang. Oh, dang. Okay, so maybe SMGs aren't terrific. So maybe shotgun. Shotgun, my boy. How are you? Oh! Okay, reload's not as fast, but that's to be expected. Oh, hey, guy. Oh! Yeah, he did what I was gonna do. You can blast him. Blast him. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't. What do I gotta do? Ah, fellas. Let's talk about this. You'll all be mush. Whoa, whoa. Oh. No, you stay down. Oh, hey, guy. Ah! 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 Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh man. I think I could have made that. I'm gonna try that again. I think that could have worked out really well. No, that was stupid. That was a stupid way to do that. Oh, that was also stupid. That was terrific. I hope everybody saw that, and I hope they write songs about it. Goddamn sentinels, I hate them. I hate you. I mean it when I said it. I'm not taking it back. I knew that was gonna kill me too. That little tiny explosion. I don't care. I don't care. It's mad. They're mad that I said I hate them, but I do. They suck. They're the worst. I'm a guest. I'm a guest on this sacred ring. And they would abash and accuse me. Oh, but we're doing it. Oh my word. 310. Oh my god. I really don't want these to keep climbing. I really don't want them to keep going. I gotta be able to do this. Boom. 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 Nice. Actually stay down that time, please. Yeah, this is where it gets intense. Reload, reload, reload. Oh no, not behind. Oh, ow. No way! No way. The Magnum couldn't save me there. No, not last strike point. I mean, it wouldn't matter. Ugh, come on. This can't be the checkpoint. Okay. Shotgun is really deadly up close, but not really effective otherwise. Like, it is super effective up close, but otherwise, not so much. Let's go. Checkpoint. Easy. Who is up here? Chinese squib. Oh, these guys. take down another one of these fucking things? Maybe the flood will fucking do it. Actually, I do not know if they will. Okay. Good stealth, good stealth. Oh. Haha, almost saw me. But you didn't. But you didn't. Of course you have shields. Of course you do. Figure out what my objective is first before I just blindly go in. I think I can carry on. Yeah, and I think I will do just that. In fact, I think that's this whole mission. Like, I feel like this entire mission is just realizing you could have just moved along the entire time. Here we go. Oh boy, but the fog is heavy here. The flood mist. Oh, the leaps, the jumps, the hops. Where shall we go from here, dear Arbiter? Oh my god. Ah! My battle cries. Oh. Ah! Just keep moving. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. They're on you in seconds. In seconds, lad. Yeah, big vibes with the lights, eh? This is pretty sick. I like this. I like this. This little display. It's like I'm in the I'm floating in the galaxy. Ah! Oi, the flood is here. Can we maybe not shoot me? Pretty please. It should have probably taken me 5 minutes to get to this point. I should just keep running. Look, checkpoint already. Oh man. Yep. These Marines just died. Body's still warm. This isn't CE, this is 2. I'm the Arbiter right now. Oh, come on. Ah. I screwed up. That was all your fault, Canadian A. You confused me. Intedicated wham. Yeah, that's all I needed. And down we go. Freaking flood, man. They are so rude to me. What? Oh boy. Here we go. There we go. Oh man. There we go. Oh, but this is a nice little respite. Should probably look around. Oh. Oh, okay. I should be selective. Okay. Oh. And down we go. Ooh. Into the bowels of the ring. Big tunnel. Oh, and an enforcer. Lovely. But my boys are here. Oh boy. Tough bastards. Okay, don't care for you guys. No, don't you dare. Oh, man. That's just brutal. That's rude, dude. Oh, this is my checkpoint. I gotta go down the ramp. I gotta go down the big boy slide again. Alright, did I get any ammo or nothing? No, okay, cool. Yeah, sick. Sinister music, go! Ah! 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 Did my boys leave me? My boys left me. Oh my god! Wow, they really had to do me like that. They really had to do me like that. This just rude. Ugh, why do I have to go down the big boy slide every time? To prove I'm not afraid of it? I'm not afraid. I'll go down it whenever. Oh my god. No! Go, Arbiter! He still made it in. Oh man. Flood, you are brutal. No! No! We're making it. We're making it, chat. Oh my god. Screw that place. Oh boy. $100,000 years war. Oh. Oh, let's go, homies. Let's go. My god, homies, help! I will switch to the carbine for my love of the carbine. Wow, homies don't help at all. This is a long level. Dedicated wham for a dedicated man. Boy, this is a long level. Oh, he had a sword. Well, that's pretty cool. But have you considered now I have a sword? And all your hopes and dreams lay with me. I am the harbinger of your nightmares. Don't kill my homies. Wow. Bro. Where the hell? Now, why did he survive that frag grenade? Why did that happen, huh? Oh, what? Oh, so many possible angles. I can't wait to finish Halo 2. Don't shoot me. I am friend. For now.
This arbiter is an impressive killer.
All right. Oh. I go this way.
What are you doing here? Let's hold this camp until reinforcements.
Oh, okay. Ah. Oh, I thought there might be munitions up here. Apparently not. Suppose I'd use that. Actually, I should do that. Whoa. Wow, not doing anything. Maybe it's because I can dual wield this, and that's kind of why it wants me. Here we are. Wow, these guys really suck with the shade turrets. Even that takes a minute. Whoa. Come on, one more wave. I bet it's there. Hell, I know it's there. Them damn floods is everywheres. Oh my god, where'd you come from? Oh. Here we go. Come on, buddy. What? Oh boy. Ho, 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 ho. Nice. Oh boy. Oh, let's go. Oof. Oof. Oh my goodness. That maybe took me a little too long. Which is fine. Go to the quarantine zone. But for now, we will say goodnight. It is quite late. And we shall be glad of some rest and some recuperation as we gear up for the weekend, as that is happening. August long weekend, if you live in, I think, North America, or maybe just Canada, or maybe just Ontario. Who knows? But yeah, unfortunate that Campaign Evolved wouldn't work for us tonight. I think I'll be back with that on Tuesday, and I think we'll just run through that if I can get it working. And once I finish that, I'll be back to The Witcher. And then, of course, Halo 2, 3, and so on. But yeah, I'm itching to see if Campaign Evolved, if I have some leg up on Campaign Evolved now that I've done Legendary on Combat Evolved. But we shall see. But in the meantime, please stay happy, stay healthy, and stay hydrated. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.